He's referred to as Mr. ECW, the whole effing show, but some of us just know him as RVD, Mr. Rob Van Dam. We're going to break it down about everything he has done in his career and if he is going to be a Hall of Famer. Stay tuned. Break it down! What's up, Maniacs? My name is Mex. Today we are going to break it down for Rob Van Dam. We have a panel of opinionated men that are coming to give us what they think about Rob Van Dam, and you know how it goes on these episodes. From 1124 Podcast, to my left, we have Paul. What are you saying, boy? You right?
Good. Thank you.
Good. We have Mr. Whose Song Is It? Because that's what you're going to get called now. We got Cameron. How you doing?
All good.
Cool. And again, we have Mr. Mark Kingston here, comedian, WWE lifer. How you doing, Mark?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Cool. So we are going to get straight into this. You guys know how this goes. We mark it on 4 different criteria: aesthetic, promo ability, ability in the ring, and legacy. And then we make an overall score for how we rate Rob Van Dam. So before anything, guys, make sure you hit the thumbs up button on this video and make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. We're going to get into it right now. No more delay. Break it down, Rob Van Dam. Break it down! So we're going to speak about aesthetic first. So as the guys want to write down on their boards their number out of 5 that they're giving Rob Van Dam. So when we're talking aesthetic, we're talking about his packaging, how he was made to look, just his general build, all of that kind of stuff around his look. So we're going to start from Paul. So Paul, you want to hold up your board and show us what you gave his aesthetic.
Gave Mr. ECW a big fat 5.
5, okay. Straight out the blocks. Cameron, go on. Let's see this. A 4, okay. And Mark?
5 stars.
5 stars. So go on, Mark. Why is it a 5 for you?
Uniqueness, I think. I don't think there was any other wrestler that looked like him. Mm-hmm. He had the singlets that were all like spray painted in different designs that were unique. Yeah, I think he just didn't look like anybody else.
You know, he used to make those singlets himself.
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah, he done the spray painting and stuff himself.
Sick.
Yeah. What about you, Cameron? You've went for 4.
Yeah, like you said, the whole like uniqueness, because obviously there was no one like Rob Van Dam. The whole martial arts thing, the flexibility, just spring the legs, all that. But just like I would have given him 5 if it was like his we'll get into it, but his promo ability kind of thing, his packaging, yeah.
Okay, but aesthetic wise, in terms of his look,
yeah, his look wise, yeah.
4.
Yeah, 4. Yeah.
Okay, 5 again, Paul. So
yeah, just that uniqueness. I remember even playing on the games, like always trying to unlock his costumes because they always had like multicolored. They looked good, and the fact that he could pull off the onesie singlet like look.
I'm not a fan of that, you know.
The thing is that naturally I wouldn't be, but when he wears it and he's quite masculine, he fills it out, and you kind of forget that that's what he's wearing.
Yeah.
So it just never was a problem, which is weird. But yeah, his whole aesthetic, the kind of cocky, confident individual, like always sure of his abilities. Yeah, just I was always a massive RVD fan.
I'm like I said, I was never really a fan. Like still up to today, I'm not a fan of wrestlers that wear that singlet looking thing. I think it looks weird, and I think it looks too actual wrestling rather than sports entertainment stuff we watch. What would make him a 5 for you in terms of his aesthetic?
Yeah, because like when you look at like kind of like the same thing we referred to about the singlet thing. Like when you look at like him as a champion, it doesn't look like presentable in that sense. Because like
can't say presentable.
Yeah,
you sound like his dad. You don't look presentable.
Yeah. Look, like he has a few like good ones here and there, but sometimes he's had those few like shocker ones. Like, no, that's not a good one.
Okay, so the colorway of them might be a bit questionable sometimes. Okay, cool. So we got 2 5s, we got 1 4. You guys know what comes next. What is the final number we're going with for Rob Van Dam's aesthetic?
I mean, I feel like our 5s have got to outweigh the 4, right?
I think so.
Any fight, Cameron?
I'm not gonna fight it. I'll give it a 5-star then.
Give it a 5-star for Rob Van Dam. So we're gonna go with a 5 for Rob Van Dam's aesthetic.
Break it down.
Right, so next up we are talking promo. This is Rob Van Dam's promo ability. So as the guys are writing down what they would score Rob Van Dam's promo and mic skills out of 5. Guys, make sure you put down in the comments, let us know what you would rate Rob Van Dam's aesthetic and promo ability as well. I think Rob Van Dam is someone that's probably known more for his in-ring ability, but I'm sure at some point in his life he would have had to do some type of mic work. So let's see what the guys have put down. Let's go with Cameron first.
I've gone with a 3.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Mark, you?
Gone with a 1.
Okay. Mark's gone with a 1. And Paul?
I've gone with a 3.
Okay. I'm with one of you guys in this room.
It's
got no much word.
And it's definitely Mark. It's definitely Mark. So, go on. Paul, why would you give him a 3?
Again, I wouldn't even say bias. I think he's not as bad as, I don't think he got as many opportunities to cut good promos, and I think he's got it in the tank. I know we kind of basing it on like WWF, WWE, but when he was at ECW, he was really good at cutting promos there. He had that kind of cocky personality, and that would come through on the mic, and he'd get good reactions from the crowds. I think because of his wrestling ability, he was actually very good. They didn't really need him to say much. I think bar maybe the title run he was having with Triple H and then John Cena, I can't even remember a lot of moments when he was on the mic. Which makes it seem like the 3 is a bit over the top.
I'm glad you said that. So go on, Cameron, why would you give him a 3?
Kind of similar in the sense where like, I feel like he has it in him to make a good promo, but I feel like because of his mannerism, it's just like
sorry, you sound like you're hoping he could be a good promo rather than he is a good promo.
No, because I know he's got it in him like here and there he does like deliver.
You sound like you're vouching for him.
I have to. I give him a 3.
You sound like you're hoping that he's got it in him. I don't know, like, go on. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Like referring back to his like 2001 when he was like in the alliance with him and Stone Cold, he was like entertaining wise, talking wise was good.
Thank you. That's a very good point.
Yeah,
Yes, that's a very good point.
I'll give you
That's why when I say like he's got it in him like to, but I don't think he was that bothered in the sense to push himself to be a good promo.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And we'll go to who I personally agree with, Mark. Go on.
So, admittedly, my knowledge of RVD before WWE is minimal, and afterwards, like TNA run, don't know much about it, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember one RVD promo.
Same.
Not one.
Same.
I think he said dude a lot.
100%.
I think he probably did the whole Matt Riddle, I smoke weed, but I can't tell you that on TV.
So I need to act like I'm high, basically.
Like,
yeah.
It's not interesting to me. Like, I love him as a wrestler, but just don't remember any mic skills at all.
I think one thing that you both said, which I'm going to take from each of you, you said that he didn't necessarily need, his wrestling ability outshone needing to be a good promo, which I think is 100% true. And then you said that you didn't think he was bothered to become a good promo, which I think there's an aspect of that being true as well. And he just heavily relied on his in-ring talents.
That's the thing. He could probably be like, let my feet do the talking.
Literally, like, there's nothing to...
And that's fine. And, like, I imagine he probably had Paul Heyman in his corner when he was in WWE when he first came in, maybe.
As in vouching for him and stuff
backstage. Yeah, exactly. And, like, when the WWF's ECW thing, that rubbish, I think he was managed by Paul Heyman a little bit, and then Paul turned on him or something. So maybe he had a manager, and then I think in ECW he had Bill Alfonso. So he's had managers, and I think he had a little thing with Steph when he first came into WWE. Possibly. It's a 1 for me.
It's largely forgettable. Like, even with the odd things you guys have popped up with, I think him on the mic is largely forgettable. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't remember the
I
Stone
can
Cold
hear
thing
that.
until you said it.
Yeah.
If we googled RVD promo, it would be like, what?
Yeah, if we put it on YouTube, like YouTube will come back with "Did you mean like somebody
Exactly.
else?" Like, okay, so we got 2 threes, we got a 1. Where do we stand as a final figure for RVD's promos?
I guess for me anyway, because there was a bit of like, because of actual promo work, there's not a lot. I'd be happy to, you know, split in the middle and go 2. But I can't excuse he did cut a lot of good promos during that Invasion arc, and yeah, I did enjoy his interactions with. It was very dudey and, you know, but I think that's just him, and I definitely lack of botheredness, but yeah, he can do it.
What about you?
Even though, like you said, like his promo wise is a bit forgettable, but I will give one shout at his promo with John Cena leading up to leading up to One Night Stand.
Yeah.
I know it's
You are
forgettable.
really vouching for it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
One thing I do have to say, and I've got to draw a comparison here, and I'm sorry to do this, Paul.
Oh,
Me and Paul done break it down for Eddie Guerrero. It's on the channel, guys. You guys check it out. And Paul gave Eddie Guerrero a 3 promo. Now,
Okay, all right.
you've given RVD a 3.
All right.
And I hate to compare, but
Yeah.
it doesn't equal. It does
Okay.
it.
Okay. It doesn't.
You need to up Eddie or down
Yeah.
RVD, that's
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
would up Eddie personally.
Yeah.
So you think RVD should stay at 3, but then you would give Eddie, in your opinion, more than a 3.
That promo alone for Brock Lesnar deserves to be minimum 4.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, I could agree with that, to be honest, and it doesn't make me look too bad.
I'm sorry I had to do that, Paul.
No, you actually make a good point. You make a good point.
So where are we with Rob Van Dam's promo skills then?
Yeah, I'll be happy to just say 2. If that's the case, yeah.
Yeah.
Mark
He's
has,
not gonna
has marked him as a 1.
Yeah.
Are you happy to go up to 2?
I believe possibly the John Cena promo could have been good, I imagine. Yeah, that's probably
You
a
do
thing.
not believe it at all.
I still can't remember it, but like if you say Mr. ECW against Mr. WWE, it sounds like a good idea. So yeah, let's bump up to a 2.
2?
On the basis that probably was good.
Bump it up to
Bump it up to a 2. Cool. So I think we're agreed there, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
let's
Rob
do
Van
it.
Dam's promo ability 2.
There we go.
Break it down.
Right, so next up we are going to talk Rob Van Dam's ability. This was somebody that, you know, I don't want to gas him up, but there was little that he couldn't do in the ring. So again, whilst the guys are writing down what number they would give Rob Van Dam for his ability, guys, do make sure you're following us, hitting us in the comments. What would you give Rob Van Dam's ability? And make sure you like this video if you're enjoying it so far. Cameron, straight out the blocks. He's written down that number, boy. Fool's done. All right, go on, Cameron. Let's see this.
Mr. RVD gets a 5-star.
Massive 5, Mark.
Also 5 stars for me.
Massive 5, and Paul.
trifecta.
It's a full house. It's the trifecta. Paul, talk to us about his ability.
He's one of my most favorite wrestlers to watch, especially growing up. There's nothing he couldn't do. He was high flying. He could do some groundwork, and he'd almost like get anyone into his sort of like, you know, he'd do that kind of like almost like play wrestling, and then they kind of like face off at the end.
Okay,
And
yeah,
whole,
the,
you
the,
know,
like the chain wrestling
yeah,
stuff.
the chain
and
wrestling
then-
stuff,
yeah,
and do
yeah,
all
yeah.
that. He wasn't bad technically. I'll say he wasn't bad. He was good technically. Could do a good German. He could do some groundwork as well. He could hold his own in any type of match, pretty much. There wasn't anything he couldn't do. He could wrestle with the best of them, and the different types of moves, especially with the feet and everything. Yeah, it was just his ability. Again, I know maybe we'll get to legacy at the end, but I think his ability, I think, warranted more for like his overall accolades.
Okay.
Personally, anyway, but yeah, I think I know we're going back a little bit, but just that unbotheredness, I think sometimes, and his lifestyle hindered him a lot.
His lifestyle.
Not that I'm criticizing, but you just got to call a spade a spade. But yeah, 5-star for a 5-star man.
Cameron, what's your favorite RVD move? Any one of the kind of moves he used to do?
Rolling Thunder.
Boy, that's a real throwback, you know.
Rolling
I don't even remember that one.
Rolling Thunder, man.
What's it? Van Daminator?
Van Daminator with a chair.
Yeah.
Proper.
It's just like with Rob Van Dam, you can't really like prepare yourself to face him, because like when you think you blocked him, he'll just kick you out of nowhere, just right in the face.
Yeah, it's true.
Like it's good, really. Like with his feet, I don't think there's anyone kind of come close, really. With his feet.
What's your favorite stuff about Rob Van Dam's ability, Mark?
I think, you know, when they cut to him like pre-match, he was doing the splits on those chairs.
Backstage and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Like, if you're his opponent seeing that, you're like,
I might as well go home.
I'm going like, this guy is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, just before the match, you could tell how he was going to be insane. And then, just some of the stuff he was pulling out. So when he first came into WWE, obviously there was high flyers around and stuff, but there was nobody doing the moves that he could do. Like Rolling Thunder again, one of my favorites. And then I think he was probably the first wrestler I saw do a standing moonsault sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I saw that before Rob Van Dam. And just, it's so unique in the ring.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing about him and his ability, it could go as low down as, you know, if you want to say as low down as like the tag division. You could see him in those high profile matches, the Elimination Chamber, wrestling the heavyweights. Like he could mix it up with anybody, like literally with anybody. And I think like you're probably going to get onto, I don't think he really got his just desserts in terms of, you know, if ability equaled where you should have kind of been on the card.
If Vince McMahon wasn't in charge, he would have been world champion a lot more.
100%.
Like, I think he had that small reign after One Night Stand, right?
Yeah.
And lost it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
If Vince wasn't in charge, he would have been multi-time champion.
Definitely.
Yeah.
100%.
But, you know, I think it speaks for itself. It's pretty straightforward. Rob Van Dam, his ability was absolutely insane.
One thing though, what do you think about where does his frog splash stand compared to everybody else's?
Good question.
Because to me, it looked like it hurt him way more than his opponent.
I love the way he
sometimes.
used to sell it though.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I wasn't going to go into it because in the last video you mentioned about a finishing move that it hurts the opponent more. And I was waiting for the RVD bit because that's one of the reasons why Eddie Guerrero is better than Rob Van Dam.
Because
it hurts RVD more. It takes it out of him. Like, what kind of
it hurts him more, or he sells it more.
It depends how you look at it.
Yeah.
But like a finishing move that wins you out or takes it out of you as well, is that a good finisher?
So you think RVD's an idiot then?
Because I've seen a lot of I've seen like a few matches where he hit the 5-star and then out of nowhere he just gets hits with like a roll up and that's it, 1, 2, 3. So his own finisher doomed him to lose the match.
I guess so. But you know, about the 5-star is that not as like iconic as like maybe like a stunner, but not a lot of people kicked out of it. And normally when they did kick out, or they didn't, it would normally someone was distracting the ref. Even in the big matches, even when he was facing like Triple H or even Brock Lesnar, he hits it once and he's counting a 3, but someone's stopping the ref. So it did take it out of him, but I loved it though. Like he'd roll over, he's like kicking his legs and everything.
I remember even in the computer games, when
exactly,
you would do the finisher, it would do that.
And you're thinking, hurry up and pin him, man.
You
know, one thing I used to love about RVD, when he would win a ladder match and throw himself off the top of the ladder, like literally I just got it, like lose his footing and just fall from 10 feet in the air, like absolutely crazy guy. But I mean, everyone's rated his ability here 5. If we just open the conversation a bit in terms of, you know, the best to ever do it, and I'm sure the likes of the Kurt Angles, Eddie Guerreros, Shawn Michaels, where does RVD rank in terms of his ability, you know, with these guys? Just ability, nothing else.
In terms of like
some of the best that you would say the best in-ring competitors are.
I think like technical wrestlers get the spotlight way more than like the martial art wrestlers.
So you mean like the Bret Harts and...
Yeah, and I understand that completely, but when you take into consideration a completely different moveset and a completely different style, he's probably the best of his style for sure.
Yeah.
I think
that's fair.
But then when you compare it to like, I don't know, you've got your Kurt Angles, for example, it's always not going to be as good because Kurt Angle's technical abilities is like real wrestling. But I would say for his style, martial arts, wrestling, that kind of thing, gotta be the top.
Yeah. I definitely think for that particular style. I mean, I'm just trying to think of other wrestlers I could throw their name out.
Like Tajiri was good back in the day with that style a little bit.
Yeah, Tajiri. Even like nowadays you get like Aleister Black. It's very similar in that sense. Yeah, RVD would definitely be up there for me personally.
Oh yeah, has to be. Yeah.
But I think we have to look at it stylistically, like you said.
That's a good point, because I think I would have said something wild and said because I because of his versatility, I think that almost puts him in the bracket of Kurt Angle's, because like Kurt Angle was very technical and could do, I wouldn't say do the high flying stuff, but he had an awesome moonsault.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
He could,
Yeah.
And he probably could do more. You know what I mean?
Loved doing that moonsault.
He loved it. Yeah,
It
but
was brilliant.
It looked
to be
so
honest.
pretty.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
it was really good.
Even Kurt Angle pulled out at 450.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Amazing
He
guy,
did,
bro.
bloody hell.
Not too heavy to be doing.
Yeah, gosh. But RVD could do that, and he could do the technical stuff. Maybe not to the precision of like a Kurt Angle, but you know, in terms of like, you know, if you put him in a match with whoever, he's definitely, you know, going to be able to hang. 10-second matches. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so let's move on. But Rob Van Dam's ability number 5.
Break it down.
Right, last but not least, we are going to talk legacy. So legacy is, you know, the whole damn thing. We're talking about championship wins. We're talking about iconic moments, iconic performances, iconic feuds, anything that, you know, we are going to remember this particular wrestler for when it's all said and done. So once again, the guys are going to take to the board for the last time today. They're going to write down the number that they think Rob Van Dam should get for the legacy he is going to leave behind. Let's not, what do you call it, pigeonhole it to like just WWE. We'll talk about, you know, everything he's done. Although obviously the majority of his high profile success has been in WWE. But yeah, legacy for Rob Van Dam.
This is the toughest score to
Yeah,
give out.
this
mate.
is-
You reckon?
This is when you do you wish there were some halves.
I would be dishing out a half right now.
Yeah. I think when I thought about this, it's definitely a half. A half is involved.
Okay,
So let's start with Mark. Go on.
I've gone for a 4.
Okay.
Again, if we're dishing out halves, this might be a 3.5, but we've got to be strict, and I'll give him a 4.
Okay, so you've bumped him up from
I've
what
bumped-
you
I've
would have
bumped
given
him up.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
There you go, that's
fair
what I've
enough.
gone.
Cameron?
You went the complete opposite, because I gone 5 and I would have
You would have
gone.
gone
I
4.5.
would have gone 4.5. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I was the same line of thinking. I would have gone 4.5, and I've rounded him up.
Rounded him up.
Yeah.
I think I would have went 4.5, but then rounded him down to 4.
Okay.
Sounds level-headed.
He sounds what?
Sounds level-headed. Yeah.
Why is it a 5 for you, Cameron?
I think like the whole package, like obviously his ability, like martial arts, the uniqueness comes into the factor of him like just being up there number 5, and I think also as well legacy wise, he's probably like I think top 10, top 5 like greatest intercontinental champions in terms of reigns.
100%.
I think he's like 6 time. 5
Yeah,
time?
yeah.
Shit.
That means he's lost it 5-6 times as well.
I hate
Don't
that
do that.
conversation.
Come on.
It's the truth. It is the truth.
Right? Like,
But then-
Ric Flair's like 20-time world champion or whatever it is.
Yeah, 16
But it
time
means
world
he's
champion.
lost it 20 times
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. I mean, that is one way to look at it, but
Yeah, but yeah, let's not do that.
it's a dangerous conversation to get into.
But yeah, I would like obviously like uniqueness, legacy in terms of Intercontinental Championship, my personal favorite title. That's why I'd be a bit biased.
Yeah.
And yeah, like even if we not just including WWE, TNA as well. He did good business in TNA, world champion there.
Yeah.
Obviously the infamous cash in with John Cena at the One Night Stand.
The planned cash in.
Yeah.
Or the plan, yeah.
No, that was very good. Yeah.
Because like that whole event, like One Night Stand, that's probably like, gonna be remembered. Like,
Jesus.
that whole
Definitely.
crowd,
The
everything.
crowd was
Crowd was-
electric,
Yeah.
bro. You saw signs like, oh, if John Cena wins, we
Right,
right.
right.
The booze he got when he came out as well. Paul, you've given him a 5. Why have you gone with that?
Yeah, I think he was just an amazing all-round wrestler. His uniqueness, his gimmick, you know, everyone in the crowd pointing, doing the you know, even when the announcer says his name, everyone's saying Rob Van Dam in tandem. I love this theme music. Yes. There wasn't anything really to hate other than the fact that, and why it would have maybe been 4.5 is just the titles. There could have been more maybe world heavyweight title runs. I actually preferred him when he was Intercontinental Champion. I think the belt suited him. Just like he had it over the shoulder. It just like that was him. But I just felt like he deserved more. But when he was Intercontinental Champion, he was just, you know, like it just looked good. There was a TNA run as well. Even like early days, TV champion in ECW. And then just, you know, one night stand. Even his little, I wouldn't say feud, but his matches with Jeff Hardy, all the ladder matches and stuff were epic. And I think there was one time, I think he did that coast to coast against Kane, I think in one thing, which I just loved that. I think he's just so entertaining to watch. So it was hard for me not to give him like a 4.5 / the whole 5. Yeah.
So Mark, you've actually bumped him up from what you wish you could have given him. So what is the difference? Why has he not reached as high as a 5, for instance, for you?
I think obviously the world title reigns is one thing that was lacking. I think overall moments, if he's not had like a big WrestleMania moment apart from winning Money in the Bank once.
Yeah.
But in terms of like he's never headlined WrestleMania, his best pay-per-view matches have been on like B pay-per-views like the Invasion with Jeff Hardy. And in terms of like the main event picture, don't really remember too much apart from the John Cena match.
I think he was someone that they could always trust and call upon to be inserted into the main event at any time. But then he was really just filler when he was there. Like a credible person you can beat. And that's it. Like I said, for me, it would have been wanting to give him a 4.5. Not quite a 5 for me. I would have marked it down to a 4. Especially because, like I said, he doesn't know what one of these are. His mic skills, or whether it's his fault or whoever's fault, they were just non-existent. For me, all I can remember is him doing the splits in the back before he came out. You know, Rob Van Dam at the top, coming into the ring, giving us an amazing match, and walking out again. I can't remember him touching the microphone. And for me, he can't really obtain a 5 without like a legendary promos and stuff as well.
Yeah, like 5s, we're comparing him with like Ric Flair, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, this is legacy, you know.
Like, there's got to be levels, right?
That is very true as well.
I get that. Yeah.
It would still be high. I mean, for me, like I said, 4.5, but 4. He was a Grand Slam champion. He won everything WWE had to offer, from European Championship, Intercontinental, Tag Team, World Heavyweight Championship. Again, not something he probably didn't win as much of, and I can only put that down to him not being a WWE original. Yeah. So, they don't want to make an ECW guy look, brilliant in their company. Went outside the company, like Cameron said, done great things in TNA as well.
Did terrible things in TNA as well. Like that recent stuff.
The back end.
The back end.
That whole company.
That knocked him down to the...
that whole company is questionable. I don't know if that's really his fault, per se, but... he did have some questionable stuff done there as well. Even in WWE, he fell on hard times with some poor decisions every now and again. But yeah, I mean...
I did love seeing him pop up in the Royal Rumble out of nowhere, though. He did it a few times, didn't he? And I'd always pop for that.
Yeah. He's a great guy. I mean, I feel harsh not giving him a 5, but like Mark says, like with some of the guys that you have to give 5s to, does he sit there with them, sort of thing? Like,
when you say it like that,
I'm not trying to get you to change. Maybe I am, but
if you're giving Rob Van Dam a 5, you're giving too many 5s out.
I don't know. I just think I don't know. I know maybe I'm leaning too heavily on his ability and like maybe the shoulda couldas and stuff like that. But you
can't. There's no shoulda couldas in Legacy. You're talking about what happened.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done, we're looking at his resume.
Yeah. What
has he achieved? What was so great about him? There's no, he should have done this. You don't write on your CV on the job that, oh, I should have been manager in Tesco, but they didn't give it to me. Like,
I could have gone uni.
yeah. It's like, you didn't, mate. Like, there's no shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Like,
I guess so. I mean, it's difficult because if you're talking, when you talk about the Ric Flairs and maybe the Triple H's, the Stone Colds and that 5, there can be 5s and there can be 5s. Ones that make it there.
I hear you.
Because...
You're about the difference between an A and an A star.
Yeah, because I think in the break, I think I gave Eddie a 5 for his legacy.
Yeah.
And now Eddie kind of maybe similar sort of honours, but I couldn't not give Eddie a 5. But then at the same time, you might not, or some people can make the argument.
I mean, this isn't about Eddie, but I think you gave him a 4, to be honest.
Did I? Okay.
Because saying just on the fact of obviously his career was unfortunately cut short, and he never went on, and I think you did give him a 4 because of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at a 4. I'll be honest. I wouldn't be mad at like a 4 overall.
One point with Rob Van Dam, I got to say, if he wasn't into weed as much as he was, maybe Vince would have given him more of a shot.
That is true.
Because he had to drop a title. I think it was the IC title. He dropped because of a wellness policy violation. Was it WWE dropped?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so he had to drop a title because of his habit.
I think that's why he lost the title so early anyway. He was meant to hold it onto it for a while.
So...
Because him and Sabu got busted and ended up going suspended for that.
Sabu.
Yeah.
So the fact that he wasn't as big as he was might be down to him.
Yeah. Was he WWE champion and ECW champion at the same time?
Yes. Yeah, he was.
First one to do that. So yeah, and then
there was, I don't know what the plan was, but there was that infamous title win in 2002 against Undertaker on Raw.
Yeah.
Title win.
Yeah.
He won a WWE title.
He won the undisputed title, and
he
then
won the WWE title.
Oh, and then did they like restart the match?
Yeah. Undertaker was on the rope.
I was on the rope.
Yeah. I was thinking. I
remember watching that live, and I was so pissed off because how many matches do they see someone's foot's on the rope or someone's cheating, and then they just let it go?
But you know what? That is WWE. For me, that is WWE testing. Are the crowd ready to be behind this guy? Because if we can do that and everyone's going to walk out of this place pissed off, we can make money from this guy.
And if you're looking at 2002, I think they were in that direction of getting behind it because later on in that year, I can't remember what pay-per-view it was, he had a title match against Triple H.
Yeah.
And even on, I think it was on Raw again, he had the match with Shawn Michaels. But if you've seen Rob Van Dam shoot interview, him and HBK are...
Oh really?
Yeah. That's I think that's one of the reasons why his career didn't
take
off.
Yeah.
He's probably got beef with the wrong people in the back.
Because Shawn Michaels was trying to like nurture him in terms of like you shouldn't be doing this, that on Raw. Say something, slow down, do less of this, less just more kind of thing. But RVD just didn't want to take advice, and obviously Shawn Michaels being Shawn Michaels, there's only one way to get going.
That's it. That's very true.
It seems like it's put a downer on the conversation. And that,
in a way, but it's true. It seems like it's more definitely his own fault in terms of application.
Let's be real though, for sure, Hall of Fame material.
He's
gonna get inducted in the next 2 or 3 years. I reckon he'll get inducted.
100%,
I mean, he just recently left TNA. His contract there. I don't know if that's him calling it quits. I think me and Mark were talking before we started filming. He turns 50 this month, so this may be him calling it quits. But yeah, I would like to think he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, we're gonna get onto that conversation in a second, but just to round up here with legacy, we've got 2 5s, a 4. Where do we all think? What are we gonna go with as a final result?
I'll still stick with a 5. I just don't feel like. I mean, do you have to compare everyone to everyone? Like everyone could be like their own category.
No, I mean this is you guys break it down. You know, it's I'm throwing it out to you guys.
I mean, I was slipping a little bit, but I think you've revved me up. I'm definitely sticking to. He's a 5 in his own, like over there. He's a 5, you know. He's a 5
in his
there,
own land,
in his own
on his own island.
I just if I said, I couldn't give him anything but a 5 personally.
Okay, let me ask you one question.
Ready,
both of you. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
He's a 5 on his own island.
Yeah.
If Undertaker comes to that island, what's Rob Van Dam's score for legacy?
I mean, it's a 5, but like you can't.
He's still a 5 if Undertaker's a 5.
why does he have to compare everything?
Yeah.
It's like if I refer to like football, for example, you got like Ronaldo and Messi. There's other world class players, but they're not Ronaldo and Messi level.
So you wouldn't mark them the same as
Well, they're
Ronaldo
still
and Messi.
classed as world class, but they're not. You know.
But this is the thing. If we,
Yeah.
if this was a football conversation, I'd be like, people throw out world class too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair
So
enough, yeah.
I think you're throwing out 5 stars.
And let's be honest, like Ronaldo and Messi, if we're talking about a bracket of world class, they are here, and everyone else that is in world class is starting from here.
And that's what I mean by
That's what I mean by
5
yeah.
and 5. You know what I mean? So you have that world class, like capital letters,
Okay.
and then you have world class, like capital W, capital.
So
C.
he's the A to Undertaker's A star.
Yeah, personally, that's what I would say.
You guys have to convince Mark that this is a 5 now. That's down to you lot.
You've convinced me not to give him a 3.5. I'll give you that much.
Yeah.
I think a flat 4 for me is fair because, as I said, he doesn't have as many moments as real 5-star wrestlers have. I think
See,
there's levels, and I just can't put him at that level, like that 5-star level. But he is great.
Legacy for Rob Van Dam.
mean,
we need a result here, guys. We need a result here, guys.
What do you think, Max?
I would give him a 4, but this has nothing to do with me. This is you guys. So unfortunately, Mark, you're on your own when you could have done with some help. But like I said, if I was doing this, I would definitely give him a 4.
Well, we got
we got 2 5s, so I think
Alright,
we're gonna have
looks
to go
like
for
I'm
a 5.
outvoted.
Fair enough. So we're gonna go for a 5 for Rob Van Dam's legacy.
Break it down.
Right, so we've totted up all of Rob Van Dam's scores, and we have come out with a 4-star wrestler overall. 4 out of 5 stars. I think that's a very fair result for Rob Van Dam. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, happy with that.
I'm happy with that. Yeah.
What I've been saying.
Mark had to concede defeat there in the last round, but I think 4 out of 5 is clearly his promo ability dragged him down from
for
what
sure.
looked like could have potentially been 5s all around. I think 4 out of 5. I think we were discussing this last time, Paul. 4 out of 5 makes a Hall of Famer for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you guys ever think he could headline a class of the Hall of Fame? Does he go in as the main guy of a class, or is he a member of the class and he's not the headliner?
I'm trying to think of previous headliners to kind of see where he.
We've had DX, we've had
Goldberg.
Batista.
I don't think he would be a headliner.
I don't.
I think he could be. I don't even know if he could be second.
Yeah.
So that means he's not a headliner.
He's definitely not a headliner.
Okay.
Nah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say he could be second, but I'm not even
hold
sure he
it
could
as
be
a
second.
headliner.
The only way he'll be a headliner if it was like an ECW version. Like
Yeah.
ECW.
If
Yes.
there was a
Yeah.
special like
If it was a specific
ECW,
class
Yeah.
that was going
Class,
in,
Class,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
then I think Rob Van Dam could be
Definitely.
the headline act.
Yeah. Even me, I couldn't see him as a headliner.
Although saying that, have they inducted Paul Heyman yet?
No.
So he's got to be
That's
the
true.
head of the class.
But I mean, if we're talking about in ring talents.
Yeah.
In ring
In-ring
talents.
talents,
Yeah.
Then
But then you know what? Like every year, the Hall of Fame comes and goes and stuff, and they're running out of wrestlers.
yeah,
So it depends when they induct him. If they induct him in 10 years' time,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
going to be
Then
the only
potentially-
person
yeah,
left that could
it's
be
true.
headline.
Yeah, that is
It's
true.
true.
It
But if
depends who they put him in
if
with.
they put him in 2 years or this year or whatever, then he's
Yeah,
not
then
going
he's
to
not.
be
yeah,
number one.
I think it does. I think naturally you wouldn't put him, or he wouldn't be a headliner, but maybe due to the caliber of wrestlers that are in the next inductee, then he could easily be the headliner as well.
I think just because of his extracurricular activities, he would never headline. Just because, you know, if that gets out to general press that they've put this guy, putting him in is one thing, but putting him in as the weed guy sort of
Yeah.
thing, you know, which was basically his gimmick, low key, like,
Yeah.
let's be honest.
He's going to induct him, Matt Riddle, and then just come out
yeah,
and stage and split.
exactly. His spliffs and everything, like,
Actually,
Yeah.
yeah, especially with like his last like run of TNA.
Yeah.
yeah,
not
yeah,
now,
you know,
yeah.
he's running around with
Yeah.
his porn star wife and
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a great look. But
true.
I think, you know,
Gee, that might be what makes Vince put him.
Yeah.
You're bringing your wife along, right?
he loves a woman, that Vince,
He does.
honestly. But guys, that is it. 4 out of 5 stars for Rob Van Dam, a really respectable score. What would you have given him for each of these categories? Put it down below in the comments, and also put in the comments who you guys want us to rate next on Break It Down. Thank you to Mark, Cameron, Paul for all coming through and helping. Again, guys, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button as well if you're new to the channel. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.